What's up, guys? If you are new to hybrid training, then this video is for you because I'm going to go over everything that you need to know if you are new to hybrid training, where to start with your workouts, where to start with your nutrition, and just go over everything that you need to know so you can hit the ground running and you can really start off with some structure when you are new to hybrid training. Now, before we hop into the video, if you are looking for a specific program that is customized to you, if you're like, I don't want to guess, I want a program crafted just for me, I do also offer online training and custom programs. So after you're done watching this video, I will leave the link to our website in the comments in the description below. Head over to fitgrindpharma.com. There is a link where you can fill out a form for more information on online training that we offer. And then I'll also leave the link to our supplement and apparel line in the comments in the description below. So if you're looking for structure with a specific program or you'd like to support the brand, head over to the links below. Let's hop into the video today. So first thing that we should start off with is we need to figure out how many days each week that you are going to be working out. Can you realistically work out 3 days a week? Is it 4 days? Is it 5 days? Is it 6 days? What is realistically going to fit into your lifestyle, into your current goals, so that we can start to craft a program? So ask yourself that. That's going to determine a lot of different things. You also need to ask yourself, are you going to be signing up for a race in the near future? Are you somebody that wants to focus on building strength and muscle mass, but start running? Or are you somebody that already runs, but you'd like to start adding strength training? Because that's also going to impact your training as well. What I'm going to talk about is somebody that wants to do an even split. They want to have an even importance of strength and conditioning or strength and running in their program. So that's where we're going to start. I think that training in a style is going to be very different from any other training that you may have done before. It's going to cause a new stimulus. You might be sore, you might be fatigued. So I think that 5 days a week is a really good place to start. When you are starting off hybrid training, I would highly advise against doing a morning run and an evening lift. And the reason is because if you are adding 2 days to a program where you're only used to doing 1 a day, that's going to be a lot of training added on top of your day-to-day life, day-to-day stress and your current job and your family. So what I would recommend is if you're doing 5 days a week, I would either do one of two things. You're going to want to hit at least 3 strength training workouts per week. If you're somebody that says you want to strength train 5 days per week, that's great. You may just have to tack on a little extra at the end of your workout to get some conditioning workouts in. So as far as your strength training, I would at least start off with 3 strength training workouts per week. And I would really still focus on lifting heavy, trying to overload. You're picking big compound movements, things like squats, deadlifts, bench press, pull-ups, lunges, overhead press, heavy rows, heavy dips. These are all great exercises that are going to help you stimulate your muscles because we still want to focus on building muscle and building strength. You still want to add some volume and accessory work as well. So doing things like lateral raises and curls and leg extensions and leg curls, all the isolation stuff as well. But make sure that in this style of training, you are focusing on lifting heavy. You're picking big compound movements at the beginning of your workout because that's going to help you maintain muscle and keep building muscle. If we lighten up all the reps and we add a bunch of cardio on top of our training, that's where you could run the risk of losing muscle mass. So keep things heavy, still try to get stronger, and that's going to help you maintain muscle mass even when you're running and training like a hybrid athlete. As far as your running, if you are new to running and you're currently running this many miles, I would not advise you to go run every single day. So I would start off with 2 to 3 runs per week, and at least one of these runs is going to be more of a higher intensity run. So say, for example, that you're going to run 3 times per week. 2 of your runs are going to be very aerobic, low, slow miles. I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. The other run is going to be a very fast, higher intensity, higher tempo run. The 2 slow miles need to be run at or below your max aerobic heart rates. Now, if you are somebody that uses a heart rate tracker or some sort of device that can track your heart rate, this is going to be 180 minus your age. So if you're 30 years old, you're going to take 180 minus 30. That's going to give you 150. The 2 aerobic running days run at a pace that keeps your heart rate at or below 150. And I promise you, it's going to be a lot slower of a pace than you think. But the importance of this is it's going to help you build out endurance. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made when I first started hybrid training was I tried to run every single workout super hard. I tried to run fast because, I have an athletic background. I'm very competitive with myself. And the strength training, it's always like, beat what you did last time and run harder. And when you approach running in this mindset, you're going to burn out, you're going to overload, you're going to get injured, and you're not going to be able to stick with your program. So 2 aerobic days. The other 1 day a week is where you can include things like higher intensity runs, things like track workouts or fartlek workouts or repeat workouts. This is going to get you used to running at faster paces, get your legs used to turning over a little faster, and it's also going to help improve your VO2 max. Combining both of these in the program is really the best way to go. That's what I always do when I structure my clients' programs that I work with. Is there's a balance of strength, there's a balance of conditioning, there's a balance of overall program design. How does everything blend together? Because yes, more is good, but to a certain point, more can also be bad because you wouldn't be able to recover from all this extra work. And then over time, you will also need to progress slowly. And as far as running, what I would say is use a 10% overload principle. So for example, if week 1, you run 10 miles, you take that by 10%, week 2, you're going to run 11 miles because 10 times 1% is 1 additional mile. 10 plus 1 is 11. This is a very slow process, but this is the best way to do it to slowly build up your running volume. Also not crank up your running volume too fast to where you're running into these overuse injuries or these nagging little weird pains. Because I promise you, if you do add way too much running at once, you're going to start to experience some of those things. So 10% week by week, you're going to start to build it up, build it up, build it up. And that's going to help you build out your volume and tolerance to that running volume as a hybrid athlete. Nutrition is another big piece to the equation of hybrid training. You're going to need more calories. You're going to need more fuel. And I think that hybrid training actually looks at that a little bit better than other training styles, because if you're not putting gas in the tank, you're not going to be able to go. So I actually have a link in the description below where you can head over to my website, and I'll actually do a free macro calculation if you're interested in knowing exactly how many calories, your carbs, fat, your protein that you should start with. This will be a great place to start. It may need some adjustment over time. That's another benefit of working with me in an online setting, is I'll be able to adjust this over time. But if you're looking for a great place to start, head over to the description, fill out that form, and I'll get you back your macros for free, or at least a great place to start for free. Protein is the first thing to start with. I would make sure that you're at least getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weights. And then your carbohydrates. You're going to need more carbs because you're doing more exercise. You're burning more calories training like a hybrid athlete. So I wouldn't be afraid of having carbs. Now, when I say carbs, I mean good, healthy sources of carbs. Things like potatoes, rice, fruit, even using things like oatmeal, whole grain breads. These are good sources of carbohydrates that are going to fuel our body, and it's going to allow us to train at the intensity that we want. And then still including good sources of fat in your diet to focus on having good hormonal functions, because we do need fat in our diets. Just make sure that it's a good source of fat. I'm not talking about going and eating Reese's every day. And then the other piece of the equation is the hydration piece. You are going to need to take an electrolyte supplement if you're training like a hybrid athlete. That's the reason why we came out with our Pink Starburst Fit Grind Electrolyte, is because when we started training like hybrid athletes, we weren't, and we were constantly fatigued. We were constantly run down, constantly dehydrated. And once we started taking an electrolyte supplement, we saw the benefit of it firsthand, and we are very firm believers in that. Our Pink Starburst Electrolyte has 500 milligrams of sodium and is going to actually help hydrate your body, where when we're going through our workouts, we are drinking a bunch of water and you're sweating out electrolytes to your sweat. You're actually diluting your blood electrolyte level. So taking an electrolyte supplement like our Pink Starburst Electrolyte is going to help you replenish what you lose through your sweat, because I promise as a hybrid athlete, you're going to be sweating like crazy. So if you're interested in checking out our Pink Starburst Electrolyte, the link's in the description below. Also leave you a 15% off discount code you can use on the first purchase. Definitely go check it out. It is going to be a game changer. Hydration does not just mean water. Like I said, make sure you're using electrolytes. You can play around with electrolyte supplementation. You may want 1, 2, potentially even 3 scoops per day, depending on how much you're sweating. I would always have 1 scoop before your run. And then if it's a really sweaty run, I would have 1 scoop after your run. So at this point, I also want to open up to questions. If you have questions on hybrid training, where to start, if you have specific questions on how to blend strength and running, nutrition or supplementation, I'd love to help out any way that I can. Just let me know down in the comment section below. And I hope this video is helpful to give you a great place to start with hybrid training. If you're like, hey, I would love to maximize my health. I would love to blend strength and conditioning together, and I want to feel good and I want to feel strong. That's exactly what hybrid training is. And that's really why I love this style, because it's not so black and white. It's not your 3 sets of 10. You can improve your performance. You can improve your body composition. You can improve your health all at the same time with hybrid training. And that's why I really like this style. And I'm a firm believer in hybrid training. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to leave a couple of videos to watch on the screen here next. Go check those out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.